how's it going, guys? Welcome back to the Highly Taken podcast. We're finally not in cars again. David Seaver back again from Tallahassee, Florida.
Christian back at you, Elton, Maryland.
Nick back at you in Jacksonville. Let's get it, guys.
Yeah, so today is the beginning of. Wait, no, it's not. It's Friday. Today's the end of the week. So we're gonna do.
Starts the weekend.
Yeah, we're gonna. Oh, that's right. The weekend starts now, and we're gonna do Gone in 60 Seconds. So we don't really drink much anymore, but our sanity will be gone. Sanity will be gone in 60 seconds. So on today's episode of Gone in 60 Seconds, I'm going to talk about the joke that is the MLB Hall of Fame votes. And this past year, we had 3 people get inducted: Adrian Beltre, Joe Mauer, Todd Helton. Todd Helton, I'm excited that he finally got in after all this time. Adrian Beltre, perhaps he deserved to be a first ballot. But let's talk about Joe Mauer here real quick. A first ballot for Joe Mauer seemed a little bit too nice for me. You had Mauer batted .306, 2,100 hits, 143 home runs, 923 RBIs. He had an MVP. That's not really a first ballot career. It's respectable. I wouldn't say first ballot, but now Gary Sheffield can never ever be voted into the Hall of Fame unless it's one of those like older people get voted in later. But he had a 292 average, 2,700 hits, 509 homers, 1,676 runs batted in, 9 All-Stars, and a World Series ring. And he is not going to be a Hall of Famer, but they let Joe Mauer in ahead of him. I think he has way better stats, minus the batting average, but he doesn't even get on any ballot anymore. We let Joe Mauer in the first year, and now he's a Hall of Famer first try. I don't think he deserves never to be a Hall of Famer, but getting him on the first try it seems like a bit of a stretch to me.
Yeah, I mean, look, I don't know much about really any of these guys, to be 100% honest. Adrian, I got to watch him play, but like Mauer,
I know the name. Of his career.
Yeah, I know the name. I didn't get to watch him, so I'm not going to sit here and act like I have much input on it, because at the end of the day, I really don't know.
No, I mean, I don't disagree with you, David. There's people that they leave off of it because it's a committee. It's a popularity contest. It's who you know, and if they don't like you, you don't get in. For instance, look at Pete Rose. Dude will get in once he dies. I mean, it's just, unfortunately, that's just how it's gonna happen. Barry Bonds, he hasn't gone in. Granted, he's kind of had an asterisk around his career with what he did, but honestly, it still hasn't been proven to this day. They still haven't proved that he was on steroids. So at this point, that's another person, in my opinion, that should get voted in Barry Bonds. You want to talk about the first person to ever come up with the literally intentionally walking. They started that because of Barry Bonds, intentionally walking, because the dude was such a monster. But I mean, first ballot, I don't agree with that. I feel like there were some other people on that ballot that probably should have been chosen. But you know what? He had a good career, and I don't disagree with him being in the Hall of Fame, but I just don't agree with him being first ballot.
Yeah. Let's talk about, I saw one more thing when I was sticking with the baseball topic. Jimmy Rollins only received 11% of votes the past 2 years to get into the Hall of Fame. You guys think Rollins will ever find his way to the Hall?
It's going to be tough.
Yeah,
it's gonna be really tough. It's gonna have to be a terrible year.
Him and Utley, it's gonna be really tough for me to say they were both. Utley got like 29%, somewhere around there, the ballpark, 29%, which isn't bad for your first ballot. Keep in mind, he has he has more home runs, less batting average, less hits, more runs batted in than Joe Mauer does, and he has a World Series ring. But I don't know. It's gonna be
and an MVP.
Very tough. Oh, Jimmy Rollins. I'm talking about Chase Utley. Jimmy Rollins has an MVP. Yeah, it's going to be really tough. I don't think Jimmy Rollins is ever going to make it in. Chase Utley, I don't even think he's going to end up making it. I want him to make it. And if he does, it'll be like the last part of the ballot. It'll be like one of his last times trying to get in.
It's going to be tough to see a lot of people from that 08 team make it. I mean, that team was just a complete all-around good team. They had a lot of good bats on it. I wouldn't say anyone was outstanding, in my opinion, on that team. They were all just very good at what they did at that time. All around, pitching was good. Batting was phenomenal. That was amazing watching that my freshman year of high school. Christian was like 3 years old, but, neither here nor there. But I love it. Baseball seasons is starting to come around. I did just see someone sign Jock Peterson.
Jock.
Is
He's with the
someone got
Diamondbacks.
him?
Who? Oh, the
Yeah,
Diamondbacks.
D-backs got
Okay.
him.
It's a good pickup. That's a good pickup for
I
them.
guess we can talk about the other signee that we saw yesterday, and that's our boy Reese Hoskins decided to go to Milwaukee. It
Yeah.
Good
hurt.
for
It
him.
hurt.
Good for
I'm
him.
truly I'm convinced he went there because that's your bad luck team, David. Like I'm convinced that he chose to go to that team strictly because he knows that that's like our fuck us team right there.
Yeah, and this is what we're gonna do. When it comes time, baseball season's back. Dubs and Chugs comes in. The Brewers are gonna be on there every single week. I mean that's just every single week. Brewers will be on here. So we'll see if this will continue for you, David.
Yep.
I hope it does. I hope he continues to have a good career. I mean, Reese is good, man. It's unfortunate he got put in a tough situation. Harper's going to be the first baseman now, obviously. I mean, he played well at first base. Not enough for me. Like there wasn't enough bad things for me to say that he doesn't deserve to play first base next year. And he's such a competitor that you could put him anywhere, and I think he would be.
I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting for this to happen. I think it's obvious what's going to happen. It's a 2-year deal for Reese. I think we're going to keep Schwarber for 2 more years. Schwarber's going to retire, and then we're just going to re-sign Hoskins, get back on the team after those 2 years, get him back. So
Hoskins, it's his 2-year deal has a 1-year deal opt out, or has a 1-year opt out. So he could be gone. He could be gone before.
It could. Well, I would love to have him as a bench bat, but I don't want him to waste his prime time of his career on the bench just because we want another person on the bench. The Phillies lineup wise is stacked right now. There's not really a hole in that lineup that I can see right now.
No.
Yeah, just a loss in that ALDS, baby. Woo!
The only thing that there's a hole.
I know. Fuck.
CS.
It's the pitching. If they don't go after pitching this year, they're screwed.
Snell's still up there.
Who else is still out there? Exactly. Yeah. And you can get him cheap if they don't do something with pitching. I'm gonna be pissed. I'm gonna do what I said about the Eagles, and I will boycott. And after I said that I would boycott, look what's happening now with the Eagles. They're signing people. So I will boycott the Phillies if they don't get some freaking pitching in there, man.
Well, I heard that we have a trade in the works right now, a trade rumor.
Interesting.
Looking to bring back Vinci Velasquez.
Why? So he can play outfield?
You want to talk about outfield? Did you see Rojas?
No.
Dude's hitting the gym hard this offseason.
Who cares, bro? Hopefully he can hit a baseball.
Yeah, he's going to end up like Willie Mays Hayes off of Major Leagues where he tried to hit home runs in his second season instead of being a leadoff hitter.
Oh, man. So, guys, we might as well talk about AFC, NFC championship game. Obviously, it's disappointment, but let's talk about Niners Lions. Who do we like in this? What are the matchups that we're looking at?
So is Debo playing? Have we figured this out?
They have not announced. They're 50-50 on it right now.
Yeah, they don't know.
That's gonna I feel like that's gonna be the key difference maker inside of the game is Debo, and I know we touched on that a little bit last week. But you know what, man? Truthfully, even without Debo or with Debo, I think Detroit's going to run this Cinderella story all the way to Vegas. I really do. I think Jared Goff's playing good football right now. Dan Campbell is a leader of men. He's getting everything done that needs to be done over there. Detroit just looks good. They're playing well. And Purdy didn't have a good game last week. Purdy's still recovering from the bad game that he had. Now, granted, he went down the field when his team needed him, went down the field, did what he had to do. But nobody can look me in my face and tell me that there's still 10,000% confidence in the guy and this, that, and the third. And the Niners are straight. And, bro, it's not going to happen. He's going to get rattled.
I don't have confidence in them. I have confidence in the refs. For them to make sure that the Niners, bro, this logo, this purple and red logo, I'm telling you,
bro. I'll tell you this much, man. If you wanted to look out for the refs anywhere, go to the other side to the Chiefs game and watch for them over there. You guys seen the referee who's coaching or reffing that game, right? You guys just
guy who, he has an insane away record.
Yeah, he caused the penalties in favor for the away team like 75% more than any other ref in the NFL does, and the Chiefs are the away team, and the record for like away teams on the road is like almost double the percent higher than it. Like, dude, it's crazy. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah,
How
with
did
this
he
Niners,
manage to get these
yeah,
reps?
with this Niners and Lions game though, I mean, we have to think that this is a Niners team that's been to the NFC Championship game 3 times in the last 4 years. Every single time they've been to the playoffs in the last 4 years, they've made the NFC Championship game, and obviously they got beat 2 times. The only time they missed the playoffs, they were 6-10 and fourth in their division, which is insane to be 6-10 and also be fourth in your division. What are you
These
coming back to,
stats
Nick?
sound super familiar, like early 2000s kind of stats.
Oh yeah. Well, and that's where my mind's going too. Is
That's
and they went to their one Super Bowl and lost too. So that's why it
yeah.
was gonna be end up being like. But I mean, it's really tough here. What we've seen out of this Niners team the last several weeks with Brock Purdy has not looked good. It has not looked good. It looks shaky, and especially without Debo, it's going to be interesting. On the other hand, yes, you have a Lions team who ended up making it to the championship game. Good on them. But they have allowed over 715 total yards passing in the past 2 games and 5 passing touchdowns in the last 2 games with Baker and with Stafford. Those aren't good stats to be putting in before you get to the championship game against a home team. Now, obviously, like I said, Brock hasn't looked that good. And yes, the Detroit Lions have only allowed 23 points in the last 2 games, both like 23 and 23. But still, if you're allowing that many passing yards, I mean, just imagine what this offense that the Niners can do against this team. They really need to get pressure on the line. And, we kind of saw that with the Packers playing them. And the Packers got pressure on Brock Purdy a lot, make them force those throws in real quick. I think the Lions defensive line is better than the Packers defensive line. So I think it'd be interesting to see how that goes there. Like I said before, I think this is the 2 best combined Lions teams in the league. The offensive and defensive line for both are just stellar. So it's going to be really comes down to what happens in the trenches during the game.
I will say to your credit about the Lions' pass defense and what they're giving up. I mean, the Bucks were down as much as 17 at one point last weekend. So they were playing from behind the entirety of the game. They had to throw the ball the entirety of the game. Dak Prescott threw for 400 in the loss in Green Bay. Did he have a great game? Are we the Green Bay? Come on, man. I mean, I'm just saying, Baker played from behind. Baker played from behind the entirety of the time, bro. They had to throw the ball throughout the entire game, all the way down to the last 12 seconds where they decided they were going to give up. So I don't know, man. I think Detroit is a better team than a lot of people are looking at. And on top of that, I think Purdy's just going to I hope he just snaps under pressure this week. I really do. I really hope he comes out, throws 3 interceptions, and just sucks.
I wouldn't be surprised if something like that happens, because I don't know if you know this, but I know this. They have a guy.
But I know that you know that I know that
this,
you know.
On this defense, like CJ Gardner-Johnson.
Stroud.
Yeah, CJ Stroud. He's coming in to play safety, boys.
Cool.
I think he's gonna have himself a game. I hope he comes back to Philly next year. I really do. But at the same time, I think he's gonna play a difference in this game, and I think he's gonna help. But in all honesty, that front line on the defensive side for the Lions, if you think you had a rough time with the Packers on that front, you're not going to be prepared for this front line. And Dan Campbell is going to have these boys ready. If there's a team going and playing in San Fran that I think will have a chance and be ready for the challenge, it's this team. And I think they could definitely take it. It's going to take kind of a miracle. You're going to have to rely on the fact that they're going to play like they did against Green Bay, right? If they play like they did against Green Bay, you're going to win this game. There's going to be no doubt in my mind you're winning this game. But if they go back and play like they did earlier in the season, if Debo's back, the Niners are going to win this game. Right? In my opinion, having Debo there, it's hard to cover McCaffrey, Debo, Ayuk, and Kittle. That's a hard challenge. Like that's tough for any defense. So if Debo's back, I think without a doubt the Niners are going to win this, but we'll see. We'll go on to the next game and talk about the Ravens Chiefs or Ravens.
Hold on,
Refs.
I gotta say one thing. Nobody thinks that Zach Ertz is going to be a driving factor here for the Lions. Like, are you serious?
If he somehow comes in and puts up one touchdown, I will be absolutely blown away. What a condom! What a tandem! Wow. I was gonna say. Anyway, I was gonna say combo and tandem, and it came out as condom.
It's gonna come out. I'm gonna say that from now on.
What a condom! They don't break under pressure. No, but I think that would be the best tandem in the league. Obviously, who's going to be better than Zach Ertz, Super Bowl champion, Sam Laporta, the rookie? But yeah, we can go into the Ravens and Chiefs. It's not the matchup I expected it to be at all. Looking at this Chiefs offense the entirety of the year, I did not think they were going to have any chance of getting it to the AFC Championship game.
It was given to them.
Yeah, well, I mean, look,
not by the refs, by the refs, by the other teams.
Yeah, yes, I know. I mean,
and the weather. Think about the first game. If you play that game in Miami, we're talking about a different game. I'm telling you right now.
But you know what? But yeah, about to say Miami shouldn't have dropped one to the Titans and then to the Bills, and then you know what I mean. They shouldn't have folded and screwed me in the process of folding. But dude, look, I will say this much. I'll say this much, and I feel like I said this at one point on the podcast, dude. Like, we've just seen it year in and year out with Patrick Mahomes. He's a winner. He just wins. Like, and yeah, I get it. You're rolling your eyes, and dude, it is annoying because we saw it with Brady. Brady was a winner. He just won, and it sucks. It's like you hate seeing it after a certain point. But dude, that's just where we're at. That's where Patrick Mahomes is. That's where him and Andy Reid are. And once you come into playoff times, they're one of the true teams that say, okay, we're going to completely forget what happened in the regular season. We only won 10 games this year. The third place in the AFC, who cares? That means absolutely nothing to them anymore. They're now looking game by game. They come out, and you know what? You're saying, oh, okay, you know what? If they went ahead and they played in Miami, they're going to, okay, cool. If they played in Miami, that's an if. They played in Kansas City, and they dominated Miami. Defensively, they dominated Miami. Then you come into Buffalo. Okay, they didn't look crazy good on offense, but you know what the scariest part of all of that was? Travis Kelce just found his footing after not having it for the past 9
I told you.
weeks. Right. Bro, this offense is firing all cylinders now. It's starting to pick its life back.
Oh, no. No, not
okay, well, you know what?
You know what? Not firing on all cylinders. I
would say if it wasn't for them fumbling the ball at the one, we're looking at a 31-20 one game there. We're looking at a 10-point game there if they're not fumbling the ball.
I agree, but you can't tell me that they're firing on all cylinders.
Dude, what are you talking about?
They just have
Kelsey was the final piece to get the offense.
There you go.
Okay,
what other receiver is he throwing to? Pacheco? That's a running back.
Right, Rashid. No. Rashid Rice is having an amazing rookie year, and then you top that off with Isaiah Pacheco is an amazing running back, a very powerful running back.
But they're not clicking on all cylinders.
Dude,
they're getting the job done because this defense they have now is the best defense that they've had in Kansas City history. That's why they're where they're at.
Bro, just forgot that Derrick Johnson.
They stepped up and they're doing their job.
Yeah,
and I think that's what it's going to come down to. I think it's going to come down to it's going to be a defensive battle in this game. Ravens are the number 1 defense in the league. Chiefs are probably top 10 defense in the league.
Yeah,
but are they going to have enough to be able to contain Lamar? I mean, that's basically what it's going to come down to.
Yeah, and so here's the thing. Do you know how many times the Chiefs have allowed over 24 points this entire season, including postseason?
2 times.
1 time, and it's 25 points.
Yeah.
The Packers. They're allowing 17.1 points per game this year. Again, including playoffs. That's absolutely crazy. Only allowing 17 points. On the flip side, I did the math here. Wanted to go back and see. The Ravens have scored less than 20 points 3 times this year and have lost all 3 of those games. It's going to be interesting to see what that Chiefs defense does.
Interesting.
I don't know. You have the MVP on the other side. The guy who's going to win MVP, does he deserve it? Who cares? He's going to get it. Doesn't matter. Mark Andrews is back. And yes, of course, that wide receiving core isn't amazing, but it's definitely better than it's used to be with Zay, Aguilar, and OBJ.
He doesn't even use them.
Yeah, well, they don't need to when they run for over 215 yards like they did last week.
Well, when you have a running back playing quarterback that can also throw the ball a little bit, Yeah, that's
And
all
he
you
only
need to
threw for
do.
150 yards the last game, but again, you don't need to when you're throwing for when you're running for
But
over
he
200.
But
also
then
threw two touchdowns. He also threw
you're
two
gonna
passing touchdowns.
you're gonna have Andrews coming back and likely both on opposite sides. That's gonna be tough to defend. I mean, you remember the two tight end tandem that we used to run in Philly. It's tough to defend. When we had
Yeah.
Zach Ertz and Dallas Goedert, I mean, it was crazy. And those two are both great tight
I'll
ends.
tell you. Yeah, having a tandem tight end, dude. I mean, that can be killer. Think about like Gronk and Hernandez. That was a great.
Very killer.
Hey,
Yeah,
they
but I
really
mean,
hang yourself out to
look what
dry
the
there.
Chiefs did last week. They shut down Stephon Diggs, they shut down Gabe Davis, they shut down Knox, they shut down Kincaid. Those are really good players there, and give credit where credit's due. Spagnuolo knows how to run a defense.
Yeah,
I think the Chiefs' defensive line is. I think they had the most sacks this year. If I swallow either them or the Ravens, one of those had the most sacks all year. The offensive line for the Chiefs is really good. When we saw that last year as well, they know how to block. The Ravens is still kind of out there. We've seen a bunch of issues with the Ravens allowing Lamar get sacked, and that's going to be where the issue lies: is can they hold up that Chiefs pass rush? Can they pick up the blitzes? Because the last thing you want is for Lamar Jackson to make a quick decision throw. That's the last thing you want. You want him to be able to.
I watched it in Jacksonville, and the one throw he made on a quick slant interception wasn't even close to the receiver. By the way, it was way off. So I mean, I see there, but I just think the Ravens are going to win this one. But guys, we got to hurry up here. Got to hurry up. So I'll do my dubs and chugs, and you guys can talk about your whatever else you want to talk about. Do a trivia again. Talk about how they're trying to get rid of Zinn. Shame on you. But anyway,
The Upper Duckies,
Upper Duckies, man.
Upper Deckers.
Upper Deckers.
Yeah. All right. So we'll get into it. Obviously, we don't have a lot of football, so we're going to get into basketball, and we're going to just stay in the NBA. Next week, I'll add some college in here too. All right. So tonight, we got the Clippers versus the Raptors.
Dude, I was sitting on this one hard last night because I was looking at it for my parlay. But give me the Clippers.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go Clippers here again. I just feel like they've really found their stride this season. Raptors, don't get me wrong, they have a really good rebuilding team now because they did get rid of a lot of good players, but I think the Clippers just have the better manpower.
Do we know who's sitting in this game? Anyone sitting for the Clippers?
I do not know.
No, nobody's sitting for the Clippers.
Then I'm going to take the Clippers.
Yeah. Nobody's sitting for
next game, we got Thunder versus Pelicans.
Oh, this is another one I was looking at. I think the Thunder weren't even the favorite at first. I'm going to take the Thunder though. I don't like going against them right now. They're looking hot.
Yeah, the Thunder are now the number one team in the West. They overtook the Timberwolves over the week. I'm going to pick them to beat the Pelicans.
Interesting. I'm going to go with the home team, and I think the Pelicans are going to win this one. It's going to be a decent matchup. Next game we got the Rockets versus the Hornets.
Ooh, yeah. You know what? I think I like the Hornets to win this one.
So I did not know which one I was going to choose. I'm going to purposely choose the one that isn't Christians. I'm going to pick the Rockets in this one.
Oh man, I like the Hornets in this one. I mean, we got to bring this up, right? I mean, we have to put this team on here. We're gonna go Cavs versus Bucks.
I ain't picking anything with Doc Rivers on it, so give me the Cavs.
Well, Christian and I will talk about the whole coaching thing later once you leave, but Cavs have been on a streak. The last time I checked, they were having 8 wins in a row. Even the Bucks here, even with Doc Rivers as coaching, I think the Bucks will get it done.
Yeah, I think the Bucks have just a little bit more talent, in my opinion. So I'm gonna go with the Bucks on this one. So then tomorrow's games, what is that? Was that 4 games or 3 games I just went through?
It was 4.
That was 4.
It was 4.
All right, awesome. We'll Heat Knicks.
Oh, the Knicks are on a tear right now. I'm going to take the Knicks. Knicks just crapped on the Heat like last night.
Well, and that's why they were coming back for revenge. That's why the Heat are going to win this game.
Heat coming back for revenge.
Scary
I like
Terry.
Miami in this one. And it wouldn't be basketball unless we talked about it. We got the Sixers versus the Nuggets.
Yeah, Jokic is Embiid's bitch, so I'm just going to take the Sixers.
If he plays, then hopefully. And the last couple of times they've played the Nuggets, Embiid's gotten 40 plus on him. So for that reason, I'm picking the Nuggets to win this game.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm going to do a reverse psychology because I would really like for us to win this game. So I'm going to go ahead and take Denver in this one as well in Denver. Next game, we got the Lakers versus the Warriors.
what a total L show.
Poverty.
Give me the Warriors only because everybody's saying Steph was snubbed for All-Star game, which I don't think he was, but they're saying he was, so I think he snaps off.
I'm going to go with the Lakers here. Both teams are playing pretty bad basketball, but I'm just going to go with the Lakers.
Yeah, Lakers are the bigger team, right? So I'm gonna go with LA as well. How many is that? Is that 6? Is that 6?
Oh
Yeah.
All right. We got Kings versus Mavs.
Oh, I like the Kings, baby. I'm a Kings guy.
Kings are a really good team. They had a really close game against the Warriors last night. Came down to a Steph turnover. I'm going to take.
Oh, they won. They ended up.
The Kings won.
Kings won that game last night. Okay, cool.
But I'm taking the Mavs in this one.
Yeah, David, I'm with you on this. I mean, I don't ever bet against Luka at home, so I'm going to take the Mavs. And I have to do one more basketball game, so we'll just pick the worst 2 teams I can think of right now: Wizards versus Pistons.
Spurs.
Oh, boy.
With the Spurs. Wait, the Wizards and the Pistons play each other?
Yeah, they played tomorrow.
It was like $2 a ticket. Like, what? Did they pay you to go to that game?
Yeah, literally. You get a complimentary Kuzma jersey just for coming in the doors.
I don't want that. That's not working.
That's funny. Nah, let me shit. Let me get the Pistons. Screw it.
Wow.
You know what? Give me the Pistons here too. Yeah, give me the Pistons.
Wow. Wow. Worst team in ball history. And you both pick them. Man, that's tough. In Detroit, here's the thing. Detroit isn't even thinking about basketball right now. They're all about football. They don't care. So that's why I think the Wizards are going to take this one. There'll probably be about 5,000 people in the stands.
Do you think it being in Detroit matters at all, by the way?
All right, guys. NFL, we got to be super quick. We got the Chiefs versus the Ravens.
Chiefs.
Give me the Chiefs defense in this one. I think they get it done.
All right, so I'm going to put down there that the defense is going to be the ones that win. Offense isn't even going to matter. All right, I'm going to go Ravens. I think the Ravens are going to get this one done. And then tiebreaker, we got the Lions versus the Niners.
Give me the Lions win 38-35.
I was going to go very close to that. I'm going to say Lions 35-31.
Wow, you guys think it's going to be high scoring?
Yo, me and David just wavelength in here, baby.
I think Niners. I think Niners win this one 28-24.
Close game.
Close
No, I don't think there's going to be any blowouts this weekend.
No, I don't think so.
But, well, you enjoy your weekend. Get back to work there, young boy.
Oh, I will. I start my new job on Monday.
Ooh,
lucky you.
No. All right. Deuces. Enjoy the weekend.
Yeah, see you, man.
Deuces.
All right. Well, I guess it's just the two of us back at it again. If you want to, I want to talk
just
about
the two of us.
Talk about the trade deadline a little bit for the NBA. It's coming up close. A lot of rumors are going out there. Right now, there are some players. Zach LaVine, a lot of people are saying he may get traded. Right now, the Warriors or the Nets are two possible. Even the Pistons have been tossed around to be trading for Zach LaVine. Where do you think he could possibly go? Who would want him, to be really honest?
Dude, you're going to need to bite the contract, right? And the thing is with LaVine is if you put him in the right role with the right system, you can probably make this guy come back to an all-star caliber player that he has been. However, it's just I don't know what team, what system that is, where he's going to fit and where that would be good at. And I just and the thing is with that too is if you're trading away for someone like LaVine with the amount of money that's on that contract, you need to be bringing him into a situation where like he will thrive and shine and truly just boost the team right away. And I don't know what situation that is right now in the NBA. I don't. He's not a guy you can just look at and just say, okay, cool, that's Zach LaVine. Like he's an all-star player. He's going to be good no matter where he goes. You know what I mean? It's almost kind of like one I like to use is like RJ Barrett. As soon as he just got out of the Knicks, everybody, RJ, he could have been, all-star level. He was okay, in realistically kind of like a bust because I think he was taken in the top 3 and everyone was like, now he goes to Toronto and he's balling. He's balling in Toronto. So he gets himself into the right system. He's starting to look like a better player. So I don't know where LaVine goes. I think there is a place LaVine could go, but I don't know if it's going to be that much of a difference maker no matter where he goes. I'm not sure if it's going to be huge. But to stay on the trade topic with you, I'm now hearing that the Sixers are big interested in Kyle Lowry.
Really? Kyle Lowry's going to be just tossed around? It's because when you have a dumpy that big, you probably get tossed around a lot, to be honest with you.
They're saying that the only way Philly would go after him, they wouldn't go through him via trade. It would be if the Hornets bought him out.
Bought his contract out and signed. I hope maybe they can do that. That'd be nice. But I've heard a lot of people saying the Sixers may be thinking about going to get Malcolm Brogdon from the Trailblazers. And yeah, I've heard a lot of people say that. I've also heard a lot of people say DeMar DeRozan as a possible trade for the Sixers. So
I want DeMar.
Yeah, it seems so random to have DeMar. I don't know why the Bulls would be shopping LaVine and DeMar DeRozan at the same time. Doesn't make any sense to me. Like, what would be their team? Alex Caruso, is that the team after that? You have LaMelo, who hasn't played a game in 3 years.
And that Lonzo, but that's
Lonzo,
what doesn't make sense. That's what doesn't make sense to me though, is that this Bulls team just 2 years ago was like ready to be on the up and up.
Yeah,
and as crazy as it is, and it's gonna sound stupid, but bro, ever since Lonzo got hurt, this team has not gone to be able to do what they wanted to do. And I don't know. I mean, it feels like now maybe Chicago's just saying, you know what, we got to clear house. We're going to clear house. We're going to start over. You know, you got to start from the top. I'm hearing big names that are on the trade block, you know, coming up into the offseason, like Donovan Mitchell. I'm hearing he could be back on the trade block again. And for a team like Chicago, that's a guy that you can, boom, start your whole entire franchise right back around, you know? So I don't know what's going to happen there. But I will say, though, I already told you, man, I think the Sixers do need to make a trade. I don't know for who. I don't know for what. But, I mean, look, I get it. Again, Embiid and Batum combined for 75. But at the same time, you got to get someone else in there that's going to do more than just give you 5.
What a game by Embiid. But no, like, I mean, yeah, I like the team, but I think you're right. At the end of the day, they need just something, whether it be like a bench piece that can come in and play with the second guys, whether it be just a spot up shooter who can come in and knock down some shots. That's really what the Sixers need. Maxi's a great shooter, but he's not like a guy that can sit in the corner waiting for a 3 to come at him. And with how the offense is ran, a lot of the times people are going to double, triple suck in on Embiid, and there'll be wide open shots in the perimeter. But I don't know who that would be. You're a good point. I mean, LaVine has what? He's made 13 threes in a game before, right? But I don't know who that would be to add to that team. DeRozan would be kind of cool to have, but again, I feel like you would have to give up Tobias, right? If you were to get DeRozan, I don't know what you would end up giving up, because I don't think there's any way you'd have Tobias and DeRozan and Maxey and Embiid. So I don't know. It'll be very interesting. I'm really interested to see where DeJounte Murray ends up going, if he goes somewhere, because I feel like the Hawks are going to be big sellers right now.
Yeah, DeJounte Murray. See though, yeah, I think he might go to LA.
Yeah, a lot of people are seeing the Lakers, and I just feel like maybe it's just basketball's weird, but I just feel like sometimes these guys that don't like DeJounte Murray, don't get me wrong, he's good. I just feel like what people are asking for him is kind of crazy. Same thing we've talked about Kyle Kuzma. They're asking for 2 firsts, where I've seen them projected are like 2 firsts and actual good guys to trade for Kyle Kuzma. Yeah, I feel like Kyle Kuzma's development got a little bit disrupted with LA when LeBron came. But he just hasn't looked that good with the Wizards. Basketball, it's very screwy. You only have 15 guys, so you have to pay them pretty decently no matter what, even if it's some random bench guy. So I don't know. It's very weird in the NBA seeing some of these random guys get like $10 million deals for just sitting there.
Right. Yeah, it definitely is weird. It's definitely, hard to see, but I don't know, man. I don't know. But let me ask you this much. Ah, man, David, I think it was looking so good for so long for you. And now it might not be, because what is going on in Minnesota? Cat goes for 64, and then they collapse into the freaking Hornets.
Yeah, and the coach said it perfectly. They were stat chasing. They kept feeding Cat the ball to get him his points, and he was throwing. When Embiid was trying to get his 70, end up getting his 70, there were still times where he would throw the ball out or he got like 1 or 2 assists on drives where he could have gotten the points, sure, but he saw a wide open guy and decided to get an easy layup for points. They were playing for the game there. And I just think at some point the Timberwolves were like, I'd rather feed Kyle Anthony Towns a ball to get him his points. He got benched because of it. They benched him, a guy who was on pace to score almost like 80, 90 points at halftime was benched because of that. So, I mean, there's just different ways to go about it. You can play hero ball, but if you're cold, if you end up getting cold, then just start tossing the rock. You have the team to give it to other people to do that.
Yeah. It's tough, bro. I don't know, bro. I feel like that's always been the thing with Karl Anthony Towns, though, dudes. They've always said, he's not a full team player, and they've always said, the guy's immature and this and that. And I mean, bro, I feel like that just points proven right to it. You scored 64. You had your career night, and your team still lost.
Yeah,
to a bottom 5 team in the league. Your team still lost, bro. Like I don't understand. And hey, don't think my other boy's getting away in the shadows here. Anthony Edwards, you had 9 points. What the fuck's your problem, dude? Like, score the ball. But still, man, I don't know, dude. They were sitting atop the West at one point, and now it's like, oh, is it gonna come down crumbling?
Yeah. I mean, it could possibly come down crumbling. We just had the All-Star votes come in. A lot of good names in there that I like to see. I'm glad that Halliburton got his starting nod. I don't know how Dame got a starting nod this year as a starting guard. And
I don't know either. I was looking at that one.
Yeah, and I'm honestly glad to see that they did put in Shai Alexander over Stephen Curry. I'm glad it wasn't complete.
Yeah.
Stephen Curry's had a great year, but Shai has just been incredible. I'm so glad he got his starting over Curry. From the Curry's like the first time he hasn't started in like 10 years.
Yeah, that's what they said. It was 9 years straight that he that he made the All-Star game and now he didn't. And I mean, granted, past 9 years of Steph Curry, he's been Steph Curry. We all know that's a household name. But we're in a new era now. We're in a different place. We're in a different position. And I mean, if anybody can ever look me in my face and say wholeheartedly this year that SGA didn't deserve it over Curry, you don't need to talk sports ever again in your life. There's absolutely no reason to. SGA is going to be an MVP in this league. One day or another, I personally think he will be an MVP in this league. He is going to be the key piece for the Thunder to go and finally win a championship 2-3 years down the line from now. Like, it makes total sense. Like, you know what I mean? And I don't even think a lot of people shouldn't be seeing it as disrespect to Curry. It's more of just a passing of the torch. Like, you did so great for so long, and nobody will ever be able to take that away from you. You're the greatest three-point shooter, the greatest shooter that the NBA has ever seen in the entirety of our lives. Time's up, bro.
Yeah, I think like along the lines of you saying like the passing of the torch, and it's crazy. I still as good as the lineup is for this Thunder team with Chet Holmgren and with Shai Alexander, I didn't expect them to be doing this well. And it's crazy because we've talked about it before the season started. They have a lot of draft picks. They have so many draft picks in the next several seasons. So you wonder, they have a lot of potential to either draft in some good guys or they have a lot of capital to, if they're like, oh, we need one more piece, to trade for that piece. And being first in the West, maybe they're biting off a little bit more than they can chew right now, but they are setting themselves to do what they couldn't do with Kevin Durant, with Serge Ibaka, with James Harden, with Russell Westbrook.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy too, that you're coming back to the draft capital and everything, bro, because we've seen it, man. Like, if they found the right guy at the right price, dude, with a team with how Thunder's assembled right now, if they get themselves to a position where they're like, okay, look, we're literally missing one guy and it's done. Just like how Golden State was just missing KD, right? And then boom, you get KD in there. I mean, granted, I know they won the ring the year before, but whatever. But still, you know what I mean? Like, that's what I mean. Like, how they were just missing KD, you get KD in there, you get 2 more rings. Bro, if the Thunder find themselves in that position, the league's fucked. Because the Thunder is just going to say, well, look, dude, we'll give you like 7 first-rounders for this guy. And the guy's only worth 3 firsts, but we'll give you 7 for him because we know that if he gets on our team, we now win championships instantly. And it's like, dang, dude, like, they really, hey, shout out for them for sucking for so long and being okay with it. And now I really hope it works works out for them, bro. I really do. You know, you got SGA over there balling out, Chet balling out, Josh Giddey with the underages. You know, it's just good time to be alive and okay.
Yeah, I remember I saw that Josh Giddey triple-double out with like 12, 11, and 13. I was like, yeah, just how he likes it. Low teens. But
OKC is okay.
yeah, dude, and it is crazy. I mean, we were making fun of them too. Like, I remember we were making fun of them. We're like, dude, like, why they just trade for a 2028 second round draft pick? Like, what is this?
Yeah, literally. Yeah.
Apparently, it's turning out in their favor. I mean, they're looking to the future, and this honestly could be one of the best teams looking forward. They can keep everybody. Um, I guess moving forward, like we're talking about line switches. What do you in the future of the NBA? Who do you see as some dark horses coming out? I know, for example, back my freshman year of college, I told everybody that I thought the Denver Nuggets were going to be a team to watch out for in the future, and that was when they got Paul Millsap. I thought that was a pretty good piece they got there, and they ended up being second place in the West after that, and obviously they've won a title since then. So, do you have any like teams on your radar right now that you're like, hey, like this team could be
Yeah.
something?
Yeah, I do. I actually do. I have two. I have two on my radar. And that's gonna be Houston, because I'm a big fan of Jalen Green. I'm a big fan of Jabari Smith. I'm a big fan of the young pieces that they have going on down there, and they are all very young. Every starter on that team is a second or third year guy. Like nobody on that team has been there for more than 3 years. So I'm a big fan of that team. They're gonna get the time. It's gonna start to figure itself out. They're gonna have a good team over there. But then for me, the other team that I really do like right now, and I think it's just because of the trade that they made, bro. I think Toronto is gonna figure it out. Maybe not this year, maybe not next year. But with Quickly and Barrett, they're gonna figure something out here in the coming years shortly, bro.
Scotty Barnes.
Scotty Barnes, yeah, right, and Barnes. You know, I feel like they're going to figure something out here in the next years coming. Granted, I feel like, you know, they probably could have gotten a way to maybe get some more wins now if they didn't get rid of Siakam and OG Anunoby, but at the same time, I feel like those are the trades that were made best for everybody, you know, the players and the team. But that's what I'm gonna have to go with. I'm gonna go with Houston and Toronto. I think those are the ones that I like.
Yeah, I mean, Toronto's a good one. I really do like what they're doing over there. I think they're really a good big man away right now to being what the Thunder are right now. Another team I really like right now, I've talked about, is the Pacers. I really like how Halliburton is doing right now. I really like the trade for Siakam. Miles Turner's a great young big man too. He's only been in the league for like 5 or 6 years now.
Yeah.
They're doing a lot of good things over there. And then also the Kings. I feel like the Kings could be on the up and up. I feel like they need to somehow change the guard from Harrison Barnes. Maybe they're a piece away as well. But I really do like the Kings out in the West. And yeah, you said Houston. Houston's a good one too. They have a lot of they also teams that have a lot of draft capital in the upcoming draft. I've also heard they may be willing to trade as well. I forget who I saw they could trade. I think it was for Malcolm Brogdon. I feel like that was one of the people they're looking at trading for.
So I will say the only reason when you asked me that question, I didn't like. So the Kings, I love the Kings. I'm a huge Kings guy, but like they made to the playoffs last year. I think they were third in the West.
They're like a third seed, yeah.
Up and up, right? And then same with who else you just put in there? Oh, the Jazz, or not the Jazz, the Pacers. I like that pick. I really do. Only reason, again, I kind of stayed away from them again there's because now I feel like they're in a place where, you know what? Now they're still in the up and up. So yeah, dude, look, Tyrese Halliburton is a stud. Like, there's no way around it. That guy is an absolute beast. And yeah, I mean, the trade for Siakam was one of the smartest moves they probably could have made, you know, in the year, because now they're actually going from a team that, okay, look, we're going to be sitting around close to the 500 mark to a team that's saying, okay, look, if we can find ourselves to the playoffs, we might compete. Like, we might have a shot. Remember, this is the team that's scoring the most points per game in basketball. So if you're going to play them, you have to come with good defense. And you have to be able to pick the slack back up on the offensive side of the ball. So this team isn't a team with a bunch of pushovers. And you're right. You know, you listed off the big pieces that they have. So it'd be curious to see how that goes. I will say, too, I would like to see the Jazz make a comeback. You know what I mean? Like, Markkinen, that's it. You know, and then over there, I would like to see them make a comeback. But the Jazz, in my opinion, they're going to be on the down and down ever since they traded away Donovan Mitchell. That was on them. That should have never happened.
I mean, something the team that the Jazz did have over there for a while. You had a decent team. You had Joe Ingles, Donovan Mitchell, Rudy Gobert, Bogdanovich. Was that the guys? Yeah, I think they had Bogdanovich. He was over there. That was a good team, and you wonder, like, why did they decide to blow it up when they did? They just could never get past the Warriors and the Nuggets, I guess. Um, but yeah, it'll be interesting. I really want to see something be shooken up and at the end of the season, whether a team just comes in like beats like the Nuggets or something like a very surprise team. I'd love to see some surprise come in. While we're on the topic of the NBA still, I mentioned the group chat earlier. What do you think about the new rule though that in place this season that if you miss a certain amount of games, you are ineligible for certain postseason awards?
You know what's crazy is that when this broke news like last year, I was so for it. I was like, yes, yes, that's how it should be. Screw the and then now Embiid's like sitting out like 25% of the games and he's the MVP right now and he's not gonna get the award. And now I'm like, this is a stupid rule. It's a stupid rule. We should have but in all honesty, it's the right rule. It really is. You know what I mean? It gets rid of the bogus crap that you know what I mean. Like it just wow, all the political point of view from it. Like you have to look at it from what a guy's doing in and out, day in, every day, because consistency is also a part of being an MVP. If you're not consistent, how are you the most valuable player? You know, I don't that's how I see that, but it's how it should be done. It's what needs to be done, and hopefully, in the turn of that, we start to see the All-Star players playing more games because that was also that was a big thing last year. Was you're seeing a lot of guys take rest days for no reason whatsoever. Just you know what, we're gonna send them on the bench the next 2 days for just because. And like, dude, it's screwing with fans. Like a lot of you pay your money, you're hoping to see this one guy, and that one guy's not even playing. And so, yeah, I definitely think that's how it should be. I don't want to see a guy get the MVP that, he had a great season, but he only played 45-50% of the season. It deserves to go to the guy who's been there, who has longevity, who has been able to play throughout the whole season, the durability, and is also, being the best player there. So that's how it should go. I hope Embiid finds a way to play in all the games that are really remaining because he is the clear-cut MVP right now. But if not, go SGA. Let's get it, my boy.
Yeah, it would really stink because this how again like how dominant Embiid's been. It really stinks that he could just not get an MVP because of the new rule. And I agree with you. It is the right rule. It's the load management games have been hurting the NBA. I mean, when you have people who are paying their money, they want to see their guys. When you have ESPN, TNT paying their money to have these good games being played, and it's like, oh, we're sorry, Stephen Curry's not playing tonight because they were just resting him. Basketball isn't that big of a sport where you're gonna get hurt if you play game in and game out. I mean, you have guys who used to sit there and play almost all of the game the entire time. Like you look at Allen Iverson, who almost played the entire game, and I don't think there's been many times where he had a career season in the injury and stuff like that.
No.
It comes down to just your your stamina. It comes down to you being able to put in the work to do it. I mean, you saw Embiid used to get hurt. And then now he's doing a little bit with his conditioning, a little bit more. He can stay in games longer. Granted, he doesn't have to play many third quarters, so you can put that in there, put that in perspective. Yeah, sorry, fourth quarters, but and it's a different game, but I'm glad they're doing it because again, I would hate for somebody that has like 40 games played in the season to be like first team All NBA just because their name's Giannis Antetokounmpo. So,
right.
And also it's
it's the right rule.
I mean,
for sure, it's the right rule.
Anything else you have in mind? Anything else you wanted to talk about?
Yeah, actually, I did because the turntables are going to turn here today, David, as I have a Phillies trivia book with me.
Oh, my goodness. I can play?
I get to ask you questions today, David.
It's going to be interesting. I hope they're not super hard. I'm going to be like a fake.
First one off the bat. True or false? Chase Utley's nickname is The Man.
The Man?
The Man. True or false?
False?
It's true, apparently.
I've
never heard of that.
Never heard him called The Man.
Hold on, let's see here.
Let's be exposed.
I gotta find. See, some of these questions are like old questions that you wouldn't get. So I don't want to ask you any of those.
In 1994, 1994 isn't that long ago. I go 1994 with that. In 1907, who was the Philadelphia Phillies' #1 peanut seller? Obviously,
guy,
it
hold on.
was Cornwall McWallace.
Oh, all right. As of the end of the 2020 season, the last time the Phillies won the division was 2011. When was the last time the New York Mets won the division? 2010, 2012, 2013, or 2015?
Oh, wasn't that the 2015 season? Is that when they went to the World Series? Or were they a wild card? I mean, the Braves could have been
Yeah.
in the. Huh? Okay.
No, it was 2015. You got it right. You got it right.
That
All right,
was
hold on.
the Daniel Murphy years where he was balling.
What was J.A. Happ's ERA for his 2009 season with the Phillies? 1.85, 2.69, 2.93, or 3.18?
Give me 2.93.
You would be correct. It
Let's
is
go.
2.93. My boy, really turning up here. Okay. How many strikeouts did A.J. Burnett record with the Phillies in the 08 championship year? Your options are 170, 180, 190, or 200.
180.
Wrong. The answer was 190.
Dang. Wait, AJ Burnett was in the championship team?
Yeah, in 2008. All right. Let's get two more in here.
Am I thinking of the right guy?
What was Chase Utley's batting average during the Phillies 2008 championship season?
312.
Huh?
I know, I was just saying. It says the 312.
A, 280, B, 287, C, 292, or 292, sorry, or D, 332.
I don't think it was 332. I'm going with C there.
292?
Yeah.
You would be correct.
If it was 332, he probably would have won MVP. If there's something he got bet of 332 the entire season.
All right, ready? Got it. I got last one for you here. In what year did Scott Rowland win the National League Rookie of the Year?
Okay.
Your options are 96, 97, 98, or 99.
I'm going to go with 97.
All right, my boy's a winner, baby.
I actually, fun fact, when I was a baby, I had a little Scott Rowland Philly stuffed bear.
Oh, that's cool.
But apparently he did not like Philadelphia. He hated it here, and so he forced himself out. And I think he went to the Cardinals after. Was the Cardinals after Philadelphia, or was it the Blue Jays?
I think it was the Cardinals.
Either the Cardinals or Blue Jays that he went after Philadelphia.
Yeah.
But yeah, look at me go. I got what 3 out of 5. I'll take it. I'll take a 60% there.
It's pretty calm. It's pretty calm right there, boy. I know that's probably the lowest grade you've ever received in your life, but
organic chemistry hit me pretty rough. Not gonna lie, there.
okay,
Orgo was a very tough class. That's a nice trivia book. Next, like I really want to do trivia with both you guys here, but if he's gonna be doing 30 minutes, then I'm gonna have to probably just figure out some trivia to do for you, or I can just find out the grids. I can just do more grids, I guess. So we can do both of it. Nick, we need you more, man. We're missing you. You're doing these 30-minute ones. We just can't talk to you much anymore.
I know.
But I got nothing.
Guy just creates a podcast with us and just leaves.
Well, I've got nothing left if you don't have anything else to talk about.
Nah, I don't think. Hold on. Let me scan my brain real quick. Yeah, no, I don't think. I don't think.
Yeah, well, that'll get us into the weekend then. Again, watch some football being played. It should be fun. I'm gonna go celebrate Brooklyn's birthday today. It's her birthday.
Happy birthday!
Yeah, go get some Costco pizza and ice cream. So.
Oh, nice Costco pizza. Why don't you just get the hot dog meal?
Well, because we're also taking her little sister, so we're gonna get some pizza. And her little sister can't eat hot dogs anymore. Oh yeah. But all right, well, I'll see you, I guess, on Monday. We can talk.
All right, my boy. I'll see you then.
Can't wait to talk to you guys in the group chat about what happened between the Chiefs and the Ravens and everything.
Yo, I just want to say, while he's not here and can't defend himself, I think Nick's an idiot for thinking that Baltimore is actually going to steamroll Kansas City.
He said the same thing about the Bills too. He really thinks for some reason the Chiefs were going to get blown out, and it hasn't happened yet. So.
All right. Later, my boy.
Yeah.
We taking over the scene. We drop dubs and chugs, living the sports dream. From hot takes to deep dive, it's a win.
Where the hell's Nick?
Come join the.
No, I'm just messing around because you're shirtless right now.
Takes blazing the fire, bringing heat to the table, never preaching to the choir, debating on players, teams, and even strategies. We keep it real, the sugar-coated fallacies. David's on the mic, spinning knowledge of flair. He breaks down the stats with a voice smooth like air. Christian's a funny guy, bringing laughter and joy. He got the jokes unlocked and no one can destroy. Nick's the analyst, break down the X's and O's. He sees the game differently, like nobody knows. Together unite, forming a podcast dream team, making waves in the industry, fulfilling their schemes.